Shalom, Yasharala. It's your brother Dawud from GMS Tampa Bay 07, coming at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and that ruled well. And salutation and much love for you, Arkin, pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth. All right, so it's the season of, what's going on over there with Russia, Syria, and all those things. So I thought I'd follow up the news articles with some scriptures, with pretty much what Russia was talking about, because the things that Russia was saying, in these last couple videos I uploaded with these articles, that some of the things that Russia was saying is biblical, they speaking right out of the Bible, and I just wanted to link some of these things here up because these are the prophecies that we're watching for, We're not saying that that because of this here is going on, this is the big shebang or whatever like that, we're not, the scriptures say no man knows the day nor the hour. The scriptures also say that there's going to be wars and rumors of wars, but let me get that real fast, because these things are part of the scriptures, but some people are like, oh, you guys are always talking about this war, and nothing ever happens, So where is it at? Right here. It says, this is Matthew chapter 24. I'm going to start at verse 3. And it says, and he sat at the top of the Mount of Olives, and the disciples came to him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming in the end of the world? So at the end times, what we all looking for, because we all know we living in those days, all right? And so Yahweh Shah answered, it says, verse 6, it says, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, okay? It didn't say that there's going to be wars and more wars. It says you're going to hear of wars, okay? And the wars that we're hearing about is, the war on terror, the war on this, the war on that, These are the so-called wars that we're hearing about, all right? But then it says also, it says you should hear of wars, okay? Like I said, the war on terror and stuff like that. And the info wars, currency wars, and these types of things. These are actual wars that's happening, all right? Like actual wars is going on, all right? It says you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, all right? And so the rumors of wars that the scriptures is talking about is like the North Korea threat, the Iranian threat, the Russian threat, these types of things, and Turkey, and all these types of things like that. So these are the rumors of wars, all right? But the scriptures also talk about basically what these Americans call World War III, They actually talk about that war itself, and they tell you who's going to be in that war, But there's going to be rumors that lead up to that war, So, these aren't just so-called, how they say, oh, this is fear porn, you guys are just saying this, and that, and that never comes to pass. Well, the prophecies are being fulfilled, with the rumors of wars, It's not necessarily saying that they're popping off right at this moment, but they're building up to it, all right? And this is how we're going to get into so-called World War III, World War I and World War II didn't just, the sun didn't just come up one day and motherfuckers didn't just decide that they was going to just start popping off, and then there you go. It was a whole build-up and climax until that time, You had to get to a certain point to where you just couldn't take it no more, Just like in any other kind of relationship, Let's say you and your old lady, y'all have a separation, y'all finally call it quits, You don't call it quits because of the one little thing that, that set it all off at the end. No, it was a whole build-up, You'd be like, oh, I got tired of homegirl always doing this, and that, and she got tired of this. You always doing this, always doing that, and I just had enough, That I had enough moment is where everything popped off, but everything built up to that point in time, And these are the rumors of wars that we've been hearing about, all right? And so here's some of the things that, that's been coming out in the news lately, from Russia. All right, this is Joel chapter 3, verse 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, or Yahweh Shaphat. Okay? And now this location, if you was to look this here up, I believe it's in the northernmost part of Israel, which is pretty much on the border of Syria. Okay? And if you understand where we at, we right there beside Israel anyway. We're in Syria, In Syria, the Iraq area, that whole little area, where they, part of the name where they changed ISIS name to ISIL, the Islamic State, what was it? The Islamic State, and something in the Levant, the L stood for the Levant area. The Levant is pretty much like where Israel is in that whole little area, the greater Israel, how it used to be back in the day. But nevertheless, it says, I will also gather all nations. All right. Now, when you look over there right now in the Middle East, or let's just backtrack, you know, before this whole debacle was starting to stir up over there over the last week, you know, you've had pretty much America and its Western allies, the EU and NATO and all them guys over there in Syria, you know. And then Bashar al-Assad on his side, he wound up getting aid from Russia, Iran, you know, and those people that's on the other side, you know. So you have all these other countries that's over there in Syria, you know, and now you have more countries like China starting to step up now, like, oh, look, we're not allowing this to happen over there, you know. So you're starting to see these things start popping off all in this one little area. So this is the Lord bringing all these different nations into this one area, you know. You try to figure out why is everybody so worried about the shit in Syria? Why couldn't just one country go over there and deal with that? Why everybody else got to stick their nose into it, you know? It ain't got nothing to do with none of those other people. It's these angels. The Most High done put the spirit on these angels to start working on the minds of these kings, all right? And these kings, the rulers of these nations, they don't understand what's going on. They think they might know what's going on or what they might have going on. And like Esau, he thinks that he's about to transition into a new system, and first he has to collapse the system, but he caught in a trick bag, you know? He's going to lose everything, you know, all at once. You know, he's not even going to know what the hell hit his ass. But nevertheless, this is why you see all these nations over there in that area in Syria. All right, you have the whole, basically every fucking nation on the planet Earth with a military in that area or backing up one of those countries. You know, whether it's the eastern or the western side. You know, whether it's, you know, America and their side or like, you know, Russia and their side, basically. You know, it says, I will gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Yehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, okay, whom they have scattered among the nations and part of my land. Okay, it's pretty much, you know, World War III and all this is happening. It's not between these nations, all right? It's not Russia versus America, all right? When you look at it biblically and spiritually, all right, we're going to get away from that word spiritually because these Christians like to just, you know, you can be a spiritual Israelite. But when you look at this shit biblically, all right, the Russians and the Americans, they Edomites, all right? So they pretty much the same as people, you know? And they don't understand pretty much what's going on over here. But all these things is going on because of the Most High is about to bring judgment on Esau and the rest of these nations for what they done did to his people, the apple of his eye, you know? And so he's bringing all these nations into this area, and he's basically bringing the whole multitude into one little area all at one time, you know, for an analogy, right? I got 100 different targets, you know, I'm trying to blow up 100 different people, and I got, you know, 100 different bombs, meaning I got to be 100% accurate with each one of my bombs to hit each 100 of my targets, you know? And, you know, the percentage of me hitting all 100 of my targets at 100% is not looking so well, you know? So it'd be a lot easier for me to just sit there and be like, all right, well, look, check it out. If I can get all 100 targets in one area, I can just drop one bomb. Or if I can get, you know, 25 targets in 4 different areas, I can only drop 4 bombs. And I got, you know, I can miss way more times, you know. If I only drop 4 bombs, shit, I got 96 left. You see what I'm saying? So this is pretty much like the Most High's plan. Like, look, I'm going to bring all y'all over there. Like when you read in 2nd Ezra, it's like, yo, they was fighting amongst one another. But then basically when Yahushua came, they was like, look, they going to basically like Ronald Reagan said in the Star Wars program, this is what he was talking about, you know. They're going to put their differences aside and stop fighting each other, and then they're going to fight Yahushua, you know. So this is basically the Most High setting them up in a trick bag. You know, he's bringing them all into one little area, building up all their military, bringing up all their guns, all the shit that they got. Like, look, y'all going to be out here with all y'all shit. You know, we're going to have all y'all soldiers, everybody out here. And this is where we're going to wind up fighting it out for my people. Y'all going to have to pay for what y'all did to my people over there, you know. And in the midst of all this, you know, everybody's going to be on a losing side, you know. China going over there right now talking about some, look, we going to stick our chest out, and if America be on that fuck shit, we going to stand up, you know. You already see Russia out there with their shirt off talking about, look, bro, y'all ain't doing shit. Y'all lost some shit. We going to hit the missiles up the air, and we going to also hit the launchers where they came from, you know. Then you see North Korea out there, they talking about some, you know, they're not really saying that they're going to rule next or nothing like that, but you see these other countries setting up things as far as they're going to be the next in rule. They see that Esau's about to fall, or America's about to fall, you know. But at the same time, everybody's going to be on the losing end, and Israel's going to raise up, you know. It's just that they all being drawn out there for this judgment, you know. It says, I will also gather, this is Joel 3:2 again, I will also gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Yehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and part of my land. All right, and they're not going over there because of the so-called Israeli attacks and stuff over there. Those are not the real people. You read that in Revelations chapter 2 verse 9, and also Revelations chapter 3 verse 9. All right, and then here's the clue right here. It says, and I will plead with them there for my people and my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations. Okay, so this is we're in the process of this building up right now. This is why everybody's in Syria right now. All right. So if the Lord's people were scattered, why the fuck are there Israelis in Israel all together with a nation, a military, and all that stuff? If the Lord is bringing everybody into Syria right now to judge them because of this fact, you know, that's not what's going on. And they say part of their land. These heathen part of the Most High's land, which is Israel. All right, talking about they two-state, and not even just a two-state, just the fact that y'all done took over the damn land, you know. And then they trying to, like I said, they trying to sell out certain portions of it as if it was theirs. But nevertheless, it says, I will plead with them there for my people and my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. All right. So this is why you see all these things going on over in Syria, and why this is a big deal, and why World War III is gonna pop off from all that. You know, it's not because of Syria, it's not because of no chemical attacks, it's not because of none of all that shit. You know, because when you look at it, it's all a big ass lie and a big farce anyway. You know. Oh, the story they want you to believe is there's a problem in the Middle East with terrorists running rampant. You know. But America's the one America's the one telling you that that's the problem and that America need to fix it. But America's the one that's over there putting the damn terrorists over there so they can conquer and take more land and get their new system, you know? But at the end of the day, it's a trick and a trick bag for their ass, because they're going to wind up getting caught in their own snare, and they're going to lose everything over there, you know? The next scripture I'm going to grab is in the book of Revelation. This is Revelation chapter 13. This is Revelation 13, I started at 11. And I beheld and another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him. Okay? Now, he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Okay? And basically what that's talking about, the first beast that they're talking about is the Roman Empire, okay? And then the deadly wound to his head, you know, when the Roman Empire so-called collapsed and everything like that, you thought that the Roman Empire was going down in history, you know? The Roman Empire was just going to be reserved for those dusty-ass pages in your history books, and that was just it, you know? And all the things that they had in Rome and their ideology, all that, like I said, all that was going to be put up on a bookshelf in the dusty-ass books. But no, it was revived right here in America, okay? You have the same ass shit, the same system, same political system, all the same systems that was over in Rome is the same systems that you have here in America, all right? And even better than, not better, but even more on top of that, it's the same fucking people, okay? The same people doing the same ass shit, you know? It's like you live over here, let's say you live over here in Florida, you know what I'm saying, and you got your little house in the hood and you doing X, Y, and Z, you decorate your little house up, and you got this, and that, the way you decorate your house, right? And then you go move from Florida to, let's say, Arizona, right? And you move over in there. Well, I mean, you're the same ass person. You're just in a different location. You got the same spirit inside you. So you're going to pretty much decorate your house with the same ass shit. You're going to see the same type of tendencies and stuff like that, you know? The same type of stuff. Like, or for a better example, you know, you live here in Florida, you know, and you eat, you know, let's say fried chicken and shit like that. You know, you got your certain type of food that you like eating, you know? But you're not going to move to another state to like Arizona and then all of a sudden switch up the type of food that you like eating. You know, it's still going to be inside of you, you know? It's not going to really change. Your tendencies are still going to be the same because it's the same people, you know? Same with the Roman Empire, or the first beast. This is the second beast, the second, you know, the second coming of this damn Roman Empire, you know? So-called white man had fell at that point in time during the Dark Ages, and now he coming back, you know? It says, verse 13, and he doth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men. Okay? So, now, go back to goddamn Hiroshima and Nagasaki, you know? That was a real devastating point in time, you know? But not only that, but you can go deeper than that, you know, because the Edomites is the ones that came out with these goddamn, like, actual bombs, like, you know, with you know, like World War I, shit like that. They actually came out with actual bombs, you know, where, you know, they would just drop bombs out of their planes and stuff like that, you know. So they pretty much originated that. You know, it kind of evolved from, you know, flame-tipped bow and arrows, but from there, they actually had the propulsion. They was the first ones to come up with, like, rockets, like, propelled, like, you know, with fire, like, Instead of just dropping bombs like World War I, they was just dropping bombs out of planes and stuff like that, you know. But coming around to World War II with Wernher von Braun and the V2 rocket, the V1 rocket, and the V2 rocket was like the first time they was having actual, what you would call a rocket. It was being propelled by something, you know. And, you know, they had the Blitzkrieg over there in Europe where Hitler was raining down fucking missiles on Europe, you know. And it was just raining down. But even more, highly more advanced than that shit, you know, these are all Edomites, you know, same shit. But even now, in the same as period of time now, you see the Americans, you know, at the end of World War II, you know, they dropped that big-ass bomb, you know, in the sight of men, you know. Everybody was terrified at that, you know, when they dropped those atomic bombs, you know. And then not only that, you know, fast forward time when they started perfecting that, because like I said, this technology is really just advancing at a rapid rate, you know. They hadn't been having this type of technology for like, you know, that long, you know, like bombs and shit, like the way we see bombs and shit now, that they ain't been out that long, you know, missiles and shit, they ain't been out that long, you know, and not the way you see them nowadays, you know, with like guided bomb, like other than wire guided bombs, you know, they ain't really had too much shit, everything was like free falling. But now, you know, after September 11th, you had, what is that shit called, shock and awe over in Iraq, you know. They went in Iraq, and it was, at nighttime, they was just showing, what do you call it, that, night vision view, you know. In the middle of the night vision, you watching the news, and all you see is, bombs and just fire just dropping out of heaven. And they broadcast this on the news, you know, 24 hours a day, back to back to back to back to back, you know. And this started putting more and more people, the fear into more and more of these people's eyes, you know, from when they had the damn Blitzkrieg, you know, all these other nations wasn't really fucking with them. And you know that America and Russia split Hitler's stockpile, you know, and all his technology. Then the Americans dropped the atomic bomb. And then from there, they just kept bombing every goddamn body. You see over in Iraq and all that shit, how they was dropping those bombs, you know. It says, and he does great wonders so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men, and deceive them on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. All right? And he's deceiving the whole goddamn world with these fake-ass things that he claimed he doing, you know what I'm saying, making himself look so good and humanitarian. It's fucking devil, man. It says, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had a wound by the sword and did live. All right? And that image that they had of the beast, you know, basically it's like the UN, NATO, and EU, that type of conglomeration type of shit, you know? Because when you go back to Rome ruled a whole lot of shit, you know, a whole vast empire, you know, many nations, you know, but basically from the top of one deal. And when you really go into this whole goddamn UN and NATO and all that stuff, they pretty much giving all their power over to like one select individual, you know, and then these are they delegates, you know. So any type of thing where they have all these people they're not really coming together. They all up under one person, you know. They just, like back in those days, they had prefects or governors over top of these places, you know. It's the same deal. And had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Yeah, and you see that's going on right now over in with Russia and all them, you know, with the sanctions and stuff. You see, at the UN they be having these UN resolutions, but then it's back and forth. If you ain't with America and all that stuff, basically you getting the goddamn sanctions put on your country, or you getting some kind of retaliation, you know. So if you don't want to worship the beast or the image of the beast, do what they want to tell you to do. If you ain't following in line with them, you're gonna have to. It's a price to pay, you know. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, and verse 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." All right, and so you see these things happening with Esau, and Russia called him out. It's like, look, man, your only hope is, you know, you see democracy. I forgot what the name of the article was. I just did it a couple of days ago. It says democracy is is being degraded. You know, their global hegemony. They got a grip on the whole globe. You know, and Russia was basically saying America would do whatever it takes to stay on top and have that death grip on everybody. You know. Last scriptures in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, and Lord, well, we don't get cut off here. It says Jeremiah 50 and 22. 2. A sound of the battle is in the land and great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Okay, and another scripture I could have brought out was death and hell followed them, because this is what the Russians were saying. Everywhere you go, you know, you leave chaos in the midst. You know, you go over and basically just cause destruction and chaos, you know. And then they asking how is the hammer of the earth cut asunder? You know, it's basically what Russia's saying. Like, yo, man, death and hell follows everywhere where you go, you know. But, you know, if y'all don't stop, hey, man, we about to break the hammer of the earth asunder, you know. It says, I have laid a snare for thee, O thou. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware, and thou art found, and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahweh. Okay? So the Most High had just said it's a trap for Esau over here. He think he went and he got everything under control. Oh, Russia ain't gonna nuke us. They ain't got the balls to do it. But hey, your ass is grass. You and your allies gonna turn on you too. It says, Yahweh has opened his armory and has brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of Yahweh power of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. Okay? It says, come against her from the uttermost borders, open up her storehouses, cast up as heaps, and destroy her utterly, let nothing be left. Talking about these nukes. They about to rain these nukes down. Satan 1 and Satan 2. Alright? Verse 29. Call together the archers against Babylon, all you that bend the bow, camp against round about it, let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her works, according to all that she has done unto her, for she has been proud against Yahweh and the Holy One of Israel. Alright, with that, we're going to go ahead and close out before I get cut off. Say, Call Halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. Double honor to the apostles and elders of great millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, I can push this truth with sincerity in the four corners of the earth. Stay strong. Shalom.